Last year at the North American International Auto Show, Chevrolet introduced the much anticipated Corvette Z06 based on the 7th generation platform. Well, today, almost a year later, we're here in Nevada and here they are, the new Corvette Z06, or since we're in the States here, Z06. Where does the model designation Z06 come from?
Well, the Z06 nameplate comes from 1963. It was on the C2, the second generation of the Corvette. It was Zora Arkus Duntov, the chief engineer at the time, was trying to figure out a way to go racing at a time when General Motors would not sponsor any factory race teams. He put together a secret program through the factory and the regular production option. You had to be in the know so a customer would know, order Z06. It wasn't in the regular sales materials. And when you got that, you got a lot of racing hardware built into your factory car that would make it easy for you to go racing. So the Z06 has a long heritage in Corvette, starting way back in 1963. We brought it back on the 5th generation car with a specialty model. Then on the 6th generation car, we really upped the game with our 505 horsepower LS7 engine. And now we're upping it again on the C7, the 7th generation car, with a supercharged engine.
First thing you'll notice on the Z06 compared to the standard Stingray is the front end. The grille sports large intakes to cool the massive brakes. There's a chin diffuser that works along with side and rear diffusers to create the most downforce ever seen by General Motors. And then there's a slight Corvette summer type bulge on the hood for the supercharger. Now this car looks a little transformer-ish, with all the wedges and shapes and all the scoops and vents, but they're all functional. A car with this much horsepower produces a lot of heat and you gotta get rid of it somehow. Now the interior of the Z06 is very similar to the Stingray. You have a center display, a digital display here flanked by 2 analog gauge packs here. You have your navigation screen, your infotainment, which has a new feature called a performance data recorder. We'll get to that in a second. It's really cool. And there's little subtle things that tell you that you're really driving something special, like the Z06 on the steering wheel, and a reminder of how much horsepower it has right here and on the seats here as well. Now this is the 7-speed manual transmission. What's new for the 2015 Z06? Well, there's an automatic now. This is the first Z06 ever to be offered with an automatic. It's a new 8-speed transmission developed by GM. It's not a dual clutch type usually found in sports cars nowadays, but it's supposed to be lightning quick.
There's no automatic transmission in the world capable of standing up to this torque that fits in our space and is compatible with our cylinder deactivation system, so we had to engineer our own transmission. Internal to GM, it's an all-new 8-speed transmission. We benchmarked the best transmissions in the world, including DCTs, so the fastest shifting, best shifting DCTs, we benchmarked them for every kind of shift, upshift, downshift, depending on where you're going, fast or slow, and we challenged our transmission designers to match a DCT performance. So from the driver's seat, you can't tell what kind of transmission it is. It's just a very quick, rifle-fast shift. In fact, our development engineers who are seeing the earliest iterations of it say it's like driving a sport bike. Very quick rev changes, bang, bang, bang through the gears.
The Z06 shares the same aluminum structure of the latest 7th generation Stingray, and it shaves off 100 pounds and it's 60% stiffer than the previous generation, plus allowing another Z06 first.
What makes it special is that the Z06, for the last few generations, has been a fixed roof model. The roof wouldn't come out. We heard from a lot of customers that said, why do you make me choose between the highest performance variant and an open air driving experience? So we listened to those customers and we decided to use this aluminum structure, optimize for open air, make it standard on the Z06. That way, even the standard Z06, you can take the roof out, it's a carbon fiber roof, stow it in the back, and still get an open air driving experience.
Like the SRT Hellcats, this Vette also runs with a 6.2-liter supercharged engine. Initially at the launch, it was said to put out 625 horsepower. Production models are now rated for 650 horsepower and 650 pound-feet of torque. I'm loving this horsepower war. Okay, here we go. We are in the Z06. This is the 7-speed manual at Spring Mountain Motorsport Park here. We can open her up here. Oh yeah, to the floor. Then we're gonna hit these brakes hard. Now the 7-speed has automatic rev matching, as you can hear. Now one really cool thing is that this car is equipped with a performance data recorder. And what that is, it's like a PVR, but there's a camera in here and it shows all your telemetry that you have here. It shows the line that you take, and you can overlap this even with like Google Maps and Bing and things like that. This is a great way to improve on your driving at the track. There's also a valet mode. When you're parking your car at a car park and the valet takes it, you can make sure it'll record, and you can make sure that he's not fooling around with your car. With no surprise, this car is crazy fast. You want even faster lap times? Go for the Z07 Performance Package on the Z06. The tires you'll get are pretty well race slicks. Carbon fiber and wide body bits that even produce more downforce at high speeds, and ceramic brakes. 0 to 60, under 3 seconds, 2.95 to be exact, and it'll run the quarter mile in under 11. Now there are 4 modes on this vehicle. There's Eco mode, which we're definitely not on. There is Touring or Comfort. There's Sport, and then there is the Track mode, which we're on right now, which really opens up all the parameters of this vehicle. One thing great about driving the Z06 is it almost makes you look like a better driver, which you really have to be careful because it corrects a lot of things that you do, but it doesn't feel intrusive. Along with that, you have magnetic ride control, which constantly adjusts your suspension. Oh man, this thing is so much fun. Oh. For those of you that have the funds and are thinking about getting a Z06, please promise me, if you do buy one of these cars, and especially if you go for the Z07 package, you have to take it to the track at least once in a while. Without doing that, it's like holding a wild animal in a cage. This car is a very tame driver for everyday use on the street, but you'll never know the capabilities without going on the track. And I can tell you, it's really capable. Here's a day that I don't want to end. This was so much fun driving this car. The Z06 starts at just over $85,000 Canadian. For another $8,000, you can add on the Z07 package, which gives you the ceramic brakes and all the carbon fiber bits. You know, you get an everyday car, you get a bona fide supercar all in one for tens of thousands of dollars less than any of its competitors. These are great times that we live in.